All right, so welcome everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Kim Wojnowich, and I am going to talk to you guys about isogenics tonight, a nutritional cleansing program. This is going to be a 30-minute call, and I'm going to talk about what isogenics is and why we need it today, and what some things are that are going on in our country, why we need isogenics. And I also have an awesome guest on the call. I'm so excited to introduce our guest, MaryAnn, at the end of our call, who has a fabulous story, an amazing story of weight loss, but just so much more than that. So we have a jam-packed 30 minutes. Before I get started, I just want to say congratulations to you guys that are on the call for thinking about your health. It's January. It's the time when we're all making our New Year's resolutions. And I just want to say, pat yourself on the back for taking the time to think about yourself. You know, someone said to me the other day that when they first started isogenics, they felt that it was very selfish to take that time to think about themselves. But in reality, this is the most selfless thing that you can do for yourself. Because if you're healthy, if you're a parent or a spouse or a friend or aunt and uncle, whatever your roles are in your life, think about it. If you feel good, if you're healthy, if you have energy, there's really no better gift that you can give the people around you. So I'm so happy for you that you're making the decision to think about this. And I want you to take a minute and think about what your goals are. Why are you on this call? Commonly at this time of the year, it's to lose weight. It is definitely the most common thing that we hear. But I want you to know we're going to talk about more than that tonight. We're going to talk about changing your health. Perhaps your goals are to gain some lean body weight. Perhaps your goals are to have more energy. To sleep better. And something that is very near and dear to my heart and my family's heart, and I know there's some on the call tonight who are interested in hearing about autoimmune disease and inflammatory illnesses. So we're definitely going to talk about that tonight and how isogenics can help not cure, not heal, but help you with inflammation and what isogenics and nutritional cleansing can do for inflammation. Sorry, I'm just trying to get these lines muted. I don't know why. Sorry that I'm having that trouble tonight. Okay, so I'm going to start with my story and how isogenics came to be in my family's life. It's actually ironic that I'm doing this call today because it is exactly 3 years ago on this week, it was actually January 4th, exactly 3 years ago, that our daughter, who was 10 at the time, was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, an inflammatory disease that was in her digestive system, wreaking havoc on her body. And what happened is once we got the diagnosis, I really went into mom mode, research mode. What can we do? What do we do to help her feel her best? What do we do? You know, we were getting a lot of information on, prescriptions. And while I'm not opposed to trying a prescription, I really wanted to find out what can we do to help keep her on a low dose of medication and not go to some of the other things, some of the higher level medications, and not have the flares and not have the problems that we were talking about. So long story short is that, I asked every question I could of our doctors and of dietitians that worked in that practice, and I couldn't get a good answer other than we just have to try different medications. So I really started looking into what does an anti-inflammatory diet have to do with helping this, and I found out so much. And that's what I'm going to talk about tonight, is what nutrition can do to improve and to affect the symptoms of an inflammatory illness. And long story short is that I discovered isogenics because where I started was trying to superload my daughter's body and my family's body with nutrition. But the fact is that today, with our food is so nutritionally bankrupt, it's very difficult to get the amount of food that you need in your body to really make a dent on any kind of situation like what we were dealing with, or really to improve your health in general. So when I discovered Isagenix and I researched it, and I researched all the nutrition that was in one shake, and I researched what it meant to get the nutritional cleanse drink in her body, I knew that we had to try. We had nothing to lose. I knew it could certainly not hurt, and hopefully it would help. And where we are today is that last week actually marked year 2 that she's in complete remission. She does still have this disease. Of course, it didn't cure her. I don't want to make any crazy claims that, Isagenix has cured her. It didn't. She'll always have this disease, but pouring nutrition into her body is helping control the inflammation. It's helping keep those symptoms at bay, and it's putting her in remission. For that reason, we'll always use Isagenix in our family. When we started it, our whole family started together. I have more energy than I've ever had. I feel better than I've ever felt. I slept better. I sleep better than I've ever slept. And I just know that I'm doing the best I can for my body. My husband has had great results. He was actually prescribed prescriptions for high cholesterol and decided that he would try this first as well. And he's had great results, and he feels his best. Our younger daughter actually uses Isagenix as well. So it's just a lifestyle for our family. It's something that we'll always know that we're always going to use. We do, of course, still eat whole foods, and we work to eat clean. Isagenix is not a diet. It's not something that we're going to say you can never eat this food again. We get asked that all the time. We're not going to tell you can never eat this and you must eat that. This isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle. And we eat healthy, and we eat treats, and we enjoy food, but we know that with our shakes, we're getting the right nutrition in our body, and with cleansing, we're getting all the toxic junk out. So let's get into that and talk about why does that matter? It matters because our country is in a health crisis. We are the greatest country in the world and we are the sickest. Obesity continues to be a terrible problem for adults, a massive growing problem for children. Now that I have a daughter with an autoimmune disease, I've researched, and I cannot believe how autoimmune diseases are skyrocketing. And if you don't know what I mean by an autoimmune disease, think about arthritis is an autoimmune disease. Diabetes is actually also an autoimmune disease. There are hundreds and thousands of now autoimmune diseases, and even if people don't have a said known diagnosed disease, but you're walking around and you're feeling achy and you're feeling tired and your joints hurt, and perhaps you've gone to the doctor. We hear this all the time. I just don't feel well, and the doctors can't find out what it is. A lot of times that is inflammation that's wreaking havoc on your body. Well, here's where that inflammation is coming from. 2 places. Our food, like I said earlier, is nutritionally bankrupt. We're not getting the nutrition that we think we're getting anymore. We're not getting the nutrition that we need anymore. I always use the example. How many of you guys go to Costco so you can get the biggest bulk container of strawberries, right? Because if I'm going to spend $5.99 at Harris Teeter on strawberries, I'd really rather go to Costco and get the huge jumbo ones and spend the same amount of money for twice the amount. We all want to do that. But it doesn't make sense that our strawberries are that tremendous, if you think about it. It doesn't make sense that our tomatoes are that perfect and big and red. They're GMOs, genetically modified. And when that's happening to the food that we eat, it's also losing the nutrition. So we're not getting the nutrition that we think that we're getting. And let's add to the fact that so much of what we eat is processed. We go in the grocery store and everything that's in a box, we assume because it's on the grocery store shelf, it's fine to eat. But I always encourage people, don't just read the labels for fat grams anymore. We learned that in the 80s, right? Or the 90s, when fat became a big deal. It's really not that important to only read fat. We need to be reading ingredients. I've taught my kids at early ages, they will look at a label and they will tell me what food dyes are in it. Food dyes are chemicals, you guys. We're not supposed to be eating that. So if you take the food dyes and the chemicals that we're getting, the fact that our foods are sprayed with herbicides and pesticides, I don't know if you know this, but even if you're eating organic, there is a legal limit of toxins that is allowed on that organic food. If there weren't, organic farmers would go out of business. We can't have that. So even when you're eating organic, you're doing much better than when you're eating regular produce, but you are still getting toxins. So when you take into account that we're not getting the nutrition, but if we breathe and if we eat even foods that we think are healthy, and women, if you put on makeup and you take pollution into account, we're getting in a massive amount of toxins. And that deficiency and that toxicity is what is causing all of these health crises and causing the health crisis that so many people are having in our country. And why I'm so passionate about isogenics is because, look, we can't do anything about that, right? I can't do anything. I can do something about eating clean, but I can't do anything about the toxins. And isogenics is a solution to that deficiency and that toxicity. And when I get into the specific, our specific core products, I'll talk to you, I'll explain more about what that is. But, well, let's just jump right into that. Let's talk about what some of the core products are with isogenics. Our main shakes, let's talk about our shakes. What makes an isogenics shake different than, you can go into health food stores, you can go into GNC. There's a lot of other shake programs out there. So I'm just going to highlight what makes ours amazing. First of all, they're formulated to be a complete meal. A lot of people we're so confused. Are we supposed to avoid fat? Are we supposed to avoid carbs? There's so much misinformation out there, but the truth is you do need fat in your body. You just need it from the right sources. You do need carbs in your body. You need it from the right sources in the right amount. So our shakes are formulated to be the perfect amount of each of those, the foods that we need, the nutrition that we need, but also super loaded with trace minerals. Trace minerals are something that's really kind of quite forgotten, and people don't really realize how important they are anymore. They call the formulator of our Shakes and Cleanse, John Anderson, the mineral man, because he's the guy that understood how the missing minerals in our food system are really harmful to us, because minerals come from the soil. And when our soil is so depleted, our foods don't have it. So what is added to our isogenic shakes are those trace minerals that we're not getting anymore. Another thing that makes the shakes top shelf, I like to say, is the protein. It really matters the source of protein, and it really matters how the protein is processed. So the protein in our shakes is exclusively sourced from New Zealand. Why New Zealand? Because the hormones and the antibiotics that go into our food system are actually banned into our cows. Are actually banned in New Zealand. They do not allow it. So you're getting grass-fed protein from the cleanest source that hasn't been injected with chemicals. Because it's so clean, it actually can be processed differently. And that processing is called undenatured whey, or cold processed. Basically what that means is that the protein is still intact. By still being intact, your body's absorbing it differently in a completely different manner. So what you don't realize is when you go to GNC and you ask the guy for the best protein, and trust me, we did this. We had these shakes in our house. They're denatured. They're processed. That heat processing is destroying the integrity of the protein. You're not even absorbing what you think you're paying for. It really makes a difference in your health when you're absorbing and you're taking in such a clean source of protein with all of the right nutrients and trace minerals. So you drink 2 shakes a day. What happens when you drink 2 shakes a day is that you start to alkalize your body. What that means is you're starting to bring the balance back to your body. Here's where inflammation comes into play. When you get that balance back, it decreases inflammation. When you go on to cleanse, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and you rid your body of the toxins and the chemicals, it also decreases that inflammation and contributes to that balance. So if you're on this call and you have any type of inflammatory illness, no matter what it is, this will help you. But let's talk about what that has to do with weight loss. When you're taking in this superior source of protein and you're absorbing it, guess what? And you're taking in all the right nutrients that your body's supposed to have, amazing things happen. You actually stop craving a lot of those things that you think that you can't live without, or those treats. And I'm not saying you can never have them, but I'm saying you're going to be amazed at how you're craving them less. You're going to be amazed at how full you are. And when you're full, you're not going to be snacking and eating some of the wrong foods and making some of the choices that you're making. And loading your body with the right nutrition, it just helps you. It's kind of like a domino effect. It just helps you start to crave the right things and the right nutrition. And it just is a cycle that if you can be patient and stay on this journey, and I do want to say journey. This is not a quick fix. I do want to stress it's a journey. Wherever you are, you didn't get there yesterday. So you have to be patient and put this nutrition in your body and cleanse out the toxins and let your body do its job. Let your body do what it's meant to do. And that's all Isagenix is doing. It's helping your body work the way it was truly meant to work. But it needs the right nutrition and the lack of toxic junk to be able to do that, to be able to work the way it was meant to. So that's what shakes are doing for you. Here's what a cleanse is doing for you. A few days a month, you're going to do a cleanse. You can also drink the cleanse on a daily basis. And whoever enrolls you in Isagenix and will help you determine what is the best way for you to do a cleanse. But I'm going to talk about a cleanse in terms of doing a fasting cleanse, either 1 day or 2 days. What happens is that you're going to use a group of products that are formulated to work together with our drink called Cleanse for Life. And good news is one of those products is chocolate. It's there's several different flavors. It is the best chocolate. It truly tastes like a treat, and you do get to have those on a cleanse day. And we recently discovered that you can use hot water with those chocolates and make yourself a hot chocolate. And I actually had the best cleanse day this week, thanks to someone sharing that recipe with me, and realized that getting through a winter cleanse day has now been made so much easier with a cleanse day hot chocolate. But along with those products, here's what the Cleanse for Life drink is doing. Well, first of all, your body was actually created to naturally detox toxins and chemicals. The problem is not at the rate that we're taking in toxins and chemicals in the environment that we live in. It can't keep up. It needs help. So if you don't digest food, the process of not digesting food allows your body to naturally detox. The Cleanse for Life drink is super loaded with nutrients and herbs and 100 nutrients that supports your body's function to detox. If you looked up, and actually have a list if anybody wants to reach out to me, some of the ingredients, some of these roots, some of these herbs that you perhaps don't know what they are. When I was first researching, I did not know what they were. If you look up those ingredients, you will see their purpose is, they're all natural ingredients, and their purpose is to help your body detox. So you're taking in a drink that's loading your body with nutrients, but putting nutrients in it. They're specifically, their purpose is to help your body cleanse and get rid of these toxins. So when you put that together with our shakes, and you put that together with some of our other core products, there's an herbal adaptogen that is just amazing. We call it liquid gold. It's amazing also for inflammation, for better sleep. It's herbal adaptogens adapt to what your body needs. So when you put them together with that, we've got protein bars. MaryAnn is going to, when she tells her story, will mention our ice of fruits and our ice of greens, which are exactly what you think they are, basically just loading your body with fruits and greens in a really simple manner. A product that is very similar to Gatorade, but without all the chemicals. We have a line of amazing all-natural products, but they all work together to load your body with nutrition and cleanse the toxins. And let me say one thing before I introduce MaryAnn. Another thing that has to do with weight loss. And again, Isagenix, it's not just a weight loss program. A lot of people think that it is. Obviously, from my story, you can tell that it is so much more to my family than just weight loss. But weight loss is truly a side effect. If you need weight loss, if you need to lose body fat, Isagenix, the side effect of putting this nutrition in and getting toxins out, it is weight loss. And here's why. In addition to what I've said earlier, that you're eating the right foods because you're not craving some of the foods that you were craving, and you are craving healthy foods more. The other thing is that when your body actually stores body fat, and this is important for all the people out there. I was just talking to someone this week who said, oh my gosh, I exercise all the time and I'm not getting anywhere. Well, we've heard this story from countless of hundreds of thousands. I can't even tell you how many times we've heard this and read people's stories of, I did everything. We have so many people on our team. I did everything. I tried everything. Here's what's happening. If you're out there and you're exercising, you're just every day and you're working so hard and you think you're doing everything right, here's the problem. Your body is actually storing fat as a defense mechanism, as a response to protect it against these toxins and chemicals. So when you cleanse and you get rid of those toxins, you do this detox, is unbelievable. Your body finds, oh, I don't need to hang on to this fat as a protective measure anymore. And you will start to release this body fat. We've got pictures of people on our team whose weight perhaps changed by 5 or 10 pounds, but they lost upwards of 30 to 40 inches on their body. We have all seen it countless times. So I really encourage you, get rid of your scale. It doesn't tell the whole story. And take your measurements. When you get started, take your measurements and you see what happens. You will also, I'm sure, lose weight on the scale, but inches are so important, and that's where we really see such a big, tremendous change in people, in addition to just looking at how you feel. A diet is not going to change you from inside out. A diet is restricting calories. We're not restricting calories. Of course, we're not saying go eat as much as you want, but this is just far bigger than just restricting calories. This is about abundance of nutrition that helps you eat the way you are meant to, not just a restriction of calories that isn't changing the toxins on the inside, and it isn't changing your health, and therefore it doesn't change your energy, and it doesn't change your sleep. So we're truly a solution that's working from the inside out. And why people are raving about it is because they can't believe how they feel. They can't believe that where they settled for thinking that, I'm just getting older, so I'm just tired all the time, or I just ache all the time. It's just the way it is. It really doesn't have to be the way it is. It really does not. So I encourage you to stop settling and realize there is something that you can do. So before I go on any further and talk about weight loss, because MaryAnn has such a beautiful story, I am going to introduce my guest and have her take over and tell her amazing story. MaryAnn, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, great. Well, welcome to our call. Thank you for sharing this, what we know is an unbelievable story. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Kim. I appreciate it. I just want all of you to know, a few of you have already heard my story. Some of you haven't. But for those of you who have, as of today, we have a little bit more change, which I'm very excited about, that I'll tell you about in a few minutes. Anybody who has any doubt about the products we are using, I certainly hope that after you hear my story, you won't. I certainly do not. I am a firm believer, and no matter what else comes about, no matter where this journey takes me, I know I will be a user as forever. I will never, ever not have these products in my body. My story started in 2010. I weighed 350 pounds, but believe it or not, I didn't have any real major health problems. After yo-yo dieting most of my life, I decided to have lap band surgery, and it was very successful. I lost 175 pounds, but started having a few health problems because I couldn't eat enough to get the nutrients that my body needed in order to be healthy. And of course, I didn't make wise food choices when I did eat, or I would not have had that problem to begin with. Well, in 2013, I was diagnosed with stage 4 uncurable brain cancer. After surgery to remove as much of the tumor as they could, I had to have my lap band removed so that I could start the 3 months of daily radiation, 18 months of chemotherapy, and 10 months of steroids. I was left with a weight gain of 120 pounds. I had absolutely no energy, no muscle tone, and my energy level was just depleted. I was very dependent upon different drugs to keep my body where it needed to be. And I couldn't exercise. I could barely get off the couch and walk to the other end of my house. And I started considering having my lap band redone to at least help me get the weight off so that I could move around a little better. And thank God for my dear friend Carol Amos, who introduced me to Isagenix as an option to not having another surgery. I started Isagenix with a bit of a hesitation, but figured, why not? I completely trusted Carol, and it couldn't hurt, right? Isn't that what most of us have went into this with? So I gave all of the information to my oncologist. After he went over it and went over every product and gave me the okay, I started the program. And at that time, I could barely walk from the car into the grocery store and do my grocery shopping. And sometimes I couldn't. I would have to use the electric buggies. I also could not sleep at night because of my energy level being so low and all of the medication I was on. I would end up napping throughout the day. I have now lost, and here's one of my changes from even Monday, 74.5 pounds. I walk 3 miles a day. I sleep through the night, and I have so much more energy than I have had in many, many, many years. Well, at Celebration, I met Dr. Tony. We talked about my medical condition, and he strongly suggested I add, that I use at least 2 canisters of the Isa Greens and 1 canister of the fruits per month. And I did. And I done that for 6 weeks after celebration. Then I went back for my routine MRI and blood work. My oncologist was blown away. He was so shocked with my appearance as well as my lab. I would never come off of them. Those 7 were
MaryAnn, sorry, repeat that last sentence. It muted you for 1 second. Just repeat that last sentence. Sorry. Oh,
okay. Am I back?
yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Wouldn't
Oh,
mute.
that's
Now it's muting everybody. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
okay. I'm not sure when I was muted.
Like 5 seconds.
Okay. Well, when I was at celebration, I was on 7 different medications and was told I would never come off of them. And as of now, I am off of all but 2 of the medications, and I've even started a CrossFit class. It is modified for me, of course, because of balance issues that I still have due to the tumor. But I'm getting more exercise and more active than I have been probably in my entire adult life. One other bit of information I got as of today is they also told me my platelet levels would never be the same. And that was one reason it was so dangerous for me. When my cancer started growing again, I say if, my doctors say when, I would already be low on the platelet count. And as of today, my platelet count was normal again. So I am super excited. I believe in these products, and I'm going to tell you, the shakes and all of the other products, were wonderful. They helped me get healthier and get where I needed to be. But the turning point for me were the greens and the fruits. It was a game changer for me. And I just want to thank my team who has surrounded me and took such good care of me, Dr. Tony for giving me that advice, and for Carol who introduced me to this product to begin with.
Oh, MaryAnn, thank you so much for sharing that. What an incredible story. I mean, we're just so happy for you, and you've been a gift for all of us because it's been an inspiration to everyone on our team to watch your story, and then to hear your follow-up and to hear that every single time you tell your story, there's something else to add is just incredible. So thank you so much, and I know everybody on the call appreciated it. I am going to close this call because I think once you tell your story, there's just not a lot left to add. I want to encourage everyone who's on this call to go back to the person who invited you. And they can answer all of your questions, and try this. Like MaryAnn said, and like we said when we got started, we all knew, what do we have to lose? Why wouldn't we just try this? And you hear our stories, and we're just 2 of hundreds of thousands of people that are jumping on this bandwagon. So we really encourage you to just give this a shot, and we know that you're going to have a great story like we do. I also want to say that if you have any interest, there's also an amazing income opportunity with Isagenix, because this is an exploding product, and this is because it's a product that works, because this is changing lives so dramatically. There is a tremendous opportunity associated with this. So I encourage you to ask the person who invited you to the call to give you more information about that as well. And every Tuesday night, we have a call that addresses only that. And every Monday night, we have a call that addresses, that is an overview on the product that someone else will be giving. So we would love for you to tune in again. But then every Tuesday, you can learn more. There's an opportunity for you to learn more about the income opportunity with this. And then I'll also suggest that if this is something you're interested in, go find 2 people to join you in it. It's always more fun to start something new with friends. And if you find 2 friends, there is an instant rebate that you'll get, and you'll be able to start these products about half off. So it really is a win-win for everybody to have that discount or have that rebate really come back to you a week later is how it works, and to have friends or family to start a nutritional cleanse program with. So I hope this information has been helpful. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Happy New Year's to everyone, and I look forward to hearing all the stories of everyone that was on this call who got started, and I'm excited to hear about that. So thank you again, everybody, and thanks again, MaryAnn. Good night, everybody.